$200,000 a year and less than $4,000 in savings. I've seen this more times than I can count. Here's what nobody tells you about being a high earner. The more money you make, the more sophisticated your broke becomes. You're not eating instant noodles broke. You're, I have a great lifestyle, but somehow there's nothing left at the end of the month broke. You're, I make six figures, but I can't miss a paycheck broke. And the terrifying part? Most high earners never even realize it's happening. Because when you're surrounded by people who look just as successful as you assume everything is fine. I'm a doctor, and I've been in practice for over 10 years. And I want to be honest with you from the start. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a doctor who made a lot of financial mistakes, watched my colleagues make the same ones, and spent years learning what actually works. What I'm going to share with you today isn't textbook finance. It's what I observed in real professionals, doctors, lawyers, engineers, who earn great money but feel financially stuck. And more importantly, what actually got us out of it. If you're a high earner who's tired of feeling like your salary isn't enough, stay with me for the next 13 minutes, because I'm going to break down exactly why this is happening and what you can do about it. In this video, I'm going to cover the 5 core reasons why high earners stay broke. Not the generic financial advice you've heard before, but the specific patterns I've seen over and over in high-income professionals. And for each one, I'll give you a concrete fix you can start this week. Let's start with the one nobody wants to admit. Reason number 1, lifestyle inflation, or as I call it, the golden handcuffs. Here's how it works. When you were a student or a resident, you told yourself, once I'm making real money, I'll start saving. And you meant it. But then the income came. And so did the upgraded apartment, the nicer car, the weekend trips, the private school tuition, the premium everything, because you worked hard for this, and you deserve it. And you do deserve it. I'm not here to tell you to live like a monk. But here's the problem. Lifestyle inflation is almost always automatic. Your expenses rise to meet your income without you making a single conscious decision. I had a colleague, cardiologist, brilliant guy, who went from resident salary to attending in 1 year. His income tripled. His savings barely moved. Because the lifestyle tripled first. The data backs this up. Studies show that when income increases, spending typically increases by 80 to 90 cents for every new dollar earned, which means you're only capturing 10 to 20 cents of every raise. The fix: pay yourself first automatically. Before lifestyle gets a chance to claim it, set up an automatic transfer on payday, even if it's just 10%, to a separate savings or investment account, not what's left over after spending. First, before anything else. This one habit changes everything. Reason number 2, the debt trap. And this one is specific to high earners because we're told our debt is an investment. Most doctors graduate with significant student loan debt, lawyers too, engineers, MBAs. We spent years, sometimes a decade, accumulating debt for our education, and we were told it was worth it because our future income would cover it. That part is true, but here's what nobody tells you. High-income debt is still debt. It has interest. It compounds. And when you add a mortgage, car loans, maybe practice loans if you own a business, suddenly a $200,000 salary is servicing $400,000 in debt. And here's the psychological trap. Because the payments feel manageable month to month, you stop feeling the urgency to eliminate the debt. You normalize it. Everyone has this. This is just the cost of the career. Meanwhile, the interest is quietly eating a portion of every paycheck. The fix: create a debt elimination hierarchy. List every debt by interest rate. Minimum payments on everything. Then attack the highest interest debt aggressively. Most high earners can eliminate non-mortgage debt in 3 to 5 years if it's intentional. The key word is intentional. Debt elimination doesn't happen accidentally. Reason number 3. And I think this is the root cause of everything else. We simply were never taught. Think about the education system for high earners. Medical school, law school, architecture school. engineering programs, we spend years mastering complex technical skills, and we're brilliant at our craft. But personal finance, not a single class, not a module, not an elective, nothing. So we graduate with enormous earning potential and zero financial literacy. And then we wing it. We do what looks right. We do what our peers do. We follow the advice of whoever is closest, which is often someone who knows even less than we do. I made the classic mistakes. I kept too much money in a savings account, earning almost nothing. I delayed investing because the market seemed risky. I bought things I didn't need to impress people I didn't particularly like, and none of it was stupidity. I was genuinely acting on the best information I had, which wasn't much. The fix: commit to 1 hour of financial education per week. 1 hour. That's less time than most people spend scrolling social media in a day. The basics of personal finance are not complicated. Tax-advantaged accounts, index investing, compound interest, emergency funds. These concepts take maybe 20 hours to truly understand. After that, you know enough to make dramatically better decisions for the rest of your life. The barrier isn't complexity. It's that nobody taught us we needed to know this. Reason number 4, the comparison trap. And this one is uniquely dangerous in high-income circles. When you work in medicine, law, finance, you're surrounded by other high earners, and high earners compete, not always consciously. But the signals are everywhere. The car someone drives to the conference, the neighborhood their kids go to school in, the vacation photos, the restaurant choices, the watch. And the dangerous assumption is that if your colleagues can afford it, you should be able to as well. Same salary bracket, same lifestyle expectations. But here's the truth most people don't talk about. You have no idea about anyone else's actual financial situation. The colleague driving the luxury SUV might be leasing it. The one in the big house might have a huge mortgage and no savings. The one who takes 4 vacations a year might be putting it all on credit cards. High-income spending is exceptionally easy to finance. Banks love lending to doctors and lawyers, which means the appearance of wealth and actual wealth can look identical from the outside. I've spoken with enough colleagues privately to know the ones who look the most financially comfortable are not always the ones who actually are. The fix: stop benchmarking against visible lifestyle and start benchmarking against your own goals. What does your life need to look like for you to feel financially free? Define that number. Build toward that, not toward someone else's appearance. Your comparison target should be future you, not current colleagues. Reason number 5, complexity paralysis. Or as I experienced it, knowing too many options and choosing none of them. When you start researching personal finance as a high earner, you quickly discover there are infinite ways to invest, save, and grow wealth. Real estate, index funds, individual stocks, dividend investing, cryptocurrency, REITs, business ownership, each with passionate advocates, each with compelling arguments. And when everything seems like a potentially good idea, you do nothing. Because choosing wrong feels worse than not starting. I went through almost 2 years of research mode, where I was learning constantly and investing almost nothing. I was busy. I told myself I'd start once I understood it better. I'd start after the next busy period. I'd start when the market corrected. Meanwhile, the money sat in a savings account, losing ground to inflation. The fix: simple, boring, consistent beats, complex, sophisticated, and paralyzed every single time. For most high earners, the optimal starting point is max out tax-advantaged accounts, then put the rest into a simple diversified index portfolio and leave it alone. That's it. Not exciting, genuinely effective. Complexity is the enemy of action. And action, even imperfect action, beats perfect planning every time. So, let me put this together for you. If you're a high earner who resonated with any of these 5 patterns, here's the reset. Step 1. Start paying yourself first. This week, today, set up an automatic transfer for at minimum 10% of your income to a separate investment account. Do it before anything else has a chance to claim that money. Step 2. List every debt you have: student loans, mortgage, car, practice loans, credit cards. Write the interest rate next to each one. Then create an elimination order. Highest rate first, minimum payments on everything else. Step 3. Spend 1 hour this week on financial basics, not YouTube rabbit holes. Pick one good book. The Simple Path to Wealth or I Will Teach You to Be Rich are both excellent, and read for 1 hour. Step 4. Unsubscribe from the comparison game. Literally, if following certain people online makes you feel financially inadequate, unfollow them. The comparison game has no finish line. Step 5. Start simple. If you haven't started investing yet, start with a basic index portfolio. Not crypto, not individual stocks, not complicated strategies. A simple, diversified, low-cost index fund. The boring option has historically been the best option for most investors. One more thing, and this is optional but genuinely useful. The hardest part of building wealth is knowing what your money is actually doing, not just what the balance says, but your real returns, adjusted for everything. Most high earners have investments scattered across different platforms, old accounts from previous employers, maybe a few different brokers. A tool I've genuinely found useful for this is ShareSite. It connects all your investment accounts in one dashboard and shows you your real performance, not just balances, but actual returns with accurate calculations. They also handle investment tax reporting, which is a huge pain for anyone with multiple accounts. There's a free tier to start. I'll put a link in the description. Here's the truth about high earners. We're not broke because we don't make enough money. We're broke by design. By a system that never taught us how to handle money, surrounded by social pressure to spend it, and too busy to stop and think. But the good news is that every single pattern I described today is reversible. It doesn't require a radical lifestyle change. It requires awareness, which you now have, and a few simple habits consistently applied. If this was helpful, subscribe. I publish every week on exactly this: the financial reality of high-income professionals and the practical steps to actually build wealth, not just a high salary. Next week, I'm covering the single biggest passive income mistake I see high earners make, the one that sounds smart but quietly traps you. You won't want to miss that one. I'll see you there.